chose for the 1959 film Vertigo. The director was Alfred Hitchcock. The main actors were James Stewart, Kim Novak, and Barbara Bel Geddes. Basic story is around a detective named Scotty Ferguson. He's played by James Stewart. Scotty suffers from a lot of fear of heights, known as arachnophobia, which affects his daily life. One day, his old friend Scotty asks to investigate his wife, Madeline Elster, and this is portrayed by Kim Novak. Madeline's behavior has been a lot of strange lately, and her husband wants to know what's going on. As Scotty starts following around Madeline, he becomes infatuated with her. He's discovering that she's believed she's possessed by some spirit of a dead woman named Carletta Valdez. Scotty becomes obsessed with uncovering the truth behind Madeline's haunted past. During their encounters, Scotty starts to fall in love with Madeline, and that could cause problems with his friend. One day, Madeline suddenly disappears, and Scotty blames himself for not being able to save her. He becomes consumed by a lot of guilt, grief. After some time, he mistakenly meets a woman named Judy Barton, and she is really similar to Madeline. And he convinces Judy to change her appearance a lot to resemble Madeline even more because he's that much in love with her. As Scotty spends more time with Judy, he realizes that she was actually pretending to be Madeline all along, so that's one of the biggest plot twists in the movie. And he has this complex plot orchestrated with Judy and her former lover, who used Scotty's acrophobia, that's fear of heights, an obsession against him. And then this whole truth shatters his whole world, and he's confronts Judy at the top of Bell Tower. And then in this turn of events, Scotty accidentally pushes Judy to her death, and he's unable to distinguish between his love for Madeline and his anger towards Judy. And the film ends with Scotty's descent into madness. He goes crazy, haunted by his actions, and unable to escape the cycle of obsession and guilt. There's two notable aspects in this film, one of which is the acting by James Stewart and Kim Novak, because James Stewart's portrays Scotty Ferguson as a vulnerable, obsessed character with a lot of depth. His performance captures his really struggles and emotional turmoil that Scotty experiences throughout the film with his going crazy against over Madeline. And Kim Novak, on the other hand, he's also distinctly playing two distinct roles as Madeline and Judy, playing two different people in the same movie, and showcasing her versatility as an actress. Another aspect of the film is the camera work by Alfred Hitchcock. The use of the vertigo effect is also really noteworthy because it involves taking the zooming in with camera to pulling it back, creating a dizzying and distorting visual effect. And by employing this technique, he basically conveys Scotty's fear of heights, emphasizing the suspense and the audience engagement with the story. And Vertigo is deeply, for the time period, it's connected to the time period in ways that in the 1950s. It represents a lot of anxieties and uncertainties of post-war America, capturing a lot of the psychological climate of the area. During this period, there's a lot of unease, paranoia about the Red Scare, the Cold War, a lot of nuclear conflict. They were scared of that. And Hitchcock explores these anxieties in Vertigo as his obsession and his distorted perception of reality is with larger themes is prevalent during that time. Overall, the film Vertigo is highly regarded. It showcases his Alfred Hitchcock's brilliance in containing combating the audience's whole innovative techniques with the use of camera work, and also offers a lot of insight about the cultural and psychological climate in 1950. It offers a lot of cultural attitudes and expectations regarding the gender relationship during the 1950s too. I actually watched this movie back in 11th grade of my senior year in high school. I thought it was very interesting. I had to write a paper on it, so I'm very familiar with this film.